hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa. Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am? No, we fucking don't! I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai! Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. Envoy...
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Your shitty hands off me! No, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
Have you two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
Well, I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
Well, the first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
I suppose you're right. We'd be taken for total idiots.
Well, you could shrug that off. But me, we've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
We'll go back and bury them as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Pagenes. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food! About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
That's that woman from the pond.
Or the one you gave us away for?
I bear that witch. Wench!
What I tell you?
Feisty.
What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
You're the one from that pond.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Torag only gave me the innards.
What was that?
Daddy's wounded.
Oh, hi. Poor Captain Thomas might never get back on his feet. Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ.
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
Her stewed light sounds delicious. It's not a bad idea, actually. Let's hear it.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on. Are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
You were attacked at the pond. You, some other women, and so were we, as it happens.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
And I have no idea why you're trying to deny it. I saw you with my own eyes. You were washing laundry there with some other girls.
Well, I reckon you weren't looking too much at faces, eh? Clear off, you lecher.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Look, please. I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the King's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Oh, shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
Nomad is an acrobat who does all kinds of tricks. Acrobat, eh? What does he do?
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
What for?
To get to work. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house, but as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's why I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go mouldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
Skalitz.
Never heard of it. I ain't been further than the back off me whole life. But I know this place inside and out.
I hope my uncle don't let me down.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Truskovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bathouse wench.
Will Lord von Burgov be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? But most likely he will be. Samin is his vassal.
Who is this Semin?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort in the village belonged to him. Old Jan Samin is the head of the family. And his son's called Olda. And it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svaja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
Is that all you know about the wedding?
What else is there to know? I'm just looking forward to being a guest and having someone serve me for a change.
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here, and that's a big problem.
Where can I find work here?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now and then, but watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things all right.
Well then, be careful.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Truskovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
Where do you want the sacks moved to?
To the pantry. That's the second door inside there. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you. So you don't do yourself a mischief. It's his debt too, ain't it?
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern. You can't miss it.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that. And what can I get for you?
Look at that.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Burgov is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down. Let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semin, a nobleman, is marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's the talk of the region. It's invitation only, of course. But maybe we could wangle our way in somehow.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Burgov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I'll come up with something.
I hope so. You can't expect me to do the thinking for both of us all the time. We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
All right, I understand. I'll carry them by myself.
I'm glad you know your place.
Although, a couple of sacks wouldn't kill you, eh?
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
I understand. I'm in your service, so I'll carry all the sacks. Even your share.
Thank you, Henry. And don't worry, I'll pay you back for your hard work.
I'm on it.
Thanks again for accepting it with humility. And fear not, friend, I'll repay the favor.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
That would be kind of you.
I knew you'd be pleased.
I'll take her to the butcher. The clearer it is to me.
God, I'm bored shit. Oof! That isn't half heavy. Oh.
Taking their time again.
Hold up. Am I supposed to open my mouth and wait?
I was wondering if you'd lend me your bullock when it's time to sow winter grains.
I need to plow too, you know.
What if you lent me the bullock on the Lord's Day? You're not going to plow on Sunday, are you?
No, and nor should you. Go and see the priest first. If he says it's all right, I'll be happy to help.
I'll have a beer.
Yes, you did. I never heard of any Perkstein in all my years. I'm not surprised.
You're just a village yokel.
How dare you? I am the son of the bailiff.
I don't care. Nor do I. That's it.
What did you say?
See it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
Why is this sticky?
But calm down, both of you.
I'm perfectly calm. It's your chum here who's ranting and raving.
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
That's enough. Cut it out, both of you.
Mind your own business. Take your ragamuffin friend and get the fuck out of our village.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me. Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
Go to hell! I'll beat you.
You shouldn't have with us, you bastard. Now you're in trouble.
Yeah! Don't spare him!
I hope. Now we'll die, you scum.
That's it. You haven't a chance, bastard.
You're out of luck.
Hey!
You want to try me?
We're gonna get you, son. Slice him up.
Show your stuff.
You're one
Slice him up.
And thwack! A hit!
You want to try me? Send my greetings to the devil.
You lived like a wretch!
Come on. Slice him up.
Your arse open.
Nice it.
Why'd you do it?
What do you want?
Slice him up.
Now you're finished!
Yes, right. You're dead.
Slice him
Bastard.
up. What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse. What? You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle, but no, not his lordship. You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess. Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off.
Shut up! You'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the only one of us with any sense. I'm not the one who acts like a spoiled child.
Spoiled child? You're in danger of crossing the line, Henry. Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
I was just defending you. Should I have let that fop beat you senseless?
I only wanted him to apologise. I'd expect my right-hand man to argue my case a bit better.
What do you think I was trying to do? You should have listened to me and calmed down.
And let him insult me. Fat chance. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
That's enough! Don't you fucking realise how badly you've been wronging me all this time? I bend over backwards for you, I tolerate all your stupid fucking whims, and what do I get? Insults and accusations. But right from the start you acted like you were on some nobleman's outing. All you cared about was whoring and boozing. You know full well the ambush was your fault, and now you're kicking out so you don't have to admit it.
What do you...
But let me finish. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth like you, but unlike you, I'd have managed to deliver that message. That's because I'm responsible and know how to behave in a way that doesn't make me feel ashamed. In a way that would make my parents proud of me.
Which parents do you mean? Radzig?
Aye, Radzig, let's say. Nobody could be proud of you, Capon. Nobody.
We'll see who's proud of who.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that...
Otto.
Hey! Open Bogo!
Where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
All right. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good-for-nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
Cause any trouble.
Hey, you!
Got it?
Hey, over here. It's about time.
I suppose I really
Come
do need to
here.
find some job. I'll find
Are
muck
you
without
going
you.
to just
you
stand here like a
stuck-up Lord of
statue?
Perchstein.
You've got time, right? Do you have a...
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work. To the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-arsed, although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a night. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armour, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armour now, but you might find something in the town hall armoury, although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks. These'll come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semi. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. I really need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Greetings, Master Guard.
Mind where you're going. Next time, have a bath before you come to see me, you pig.
What did I do to you?
What would you like?
As the local scribe, you know a lot of things, right?
I'd say so. In this province, not a squirrel farts without my knowing.
Right. So, if I needed to get something, you'd certainly be able to tell me where, right?
Depends on what you're looking for. Don't involve me with anything dishonorable.
No, don't worry. I'm just looking for some armor.
Armor? Well, unless you want to join von Burgau's retinue, I don't think I can help you. But try Radovan, the blacksmith in Tachow. He might at least sell you an iron helmet.
You don't know of anything better?
Aha! So, the good man is a connoisseur, eh? And how would Prince Brunswick's armor suit you?
Whose armor?
Oh, it's just a local legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar out of you.
I beg your pardon?
All right. No need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much. So he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
Then what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup. So it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom. But the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armor come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I don't understand.
Don't worry too much about it. It's just an old wives' tale. And it is said that one day a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Wartenberg the name Lion and the armor of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad and died on his way back to his king, specifically while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armor back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armor to the king.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armor, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armor. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armor here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight, each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armor?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still.
Uh-huh. And that was supposed to help me, eh?
Answers come to the wise, kicks to the stupid.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Well, thanks a lot.
Hold on, I'll give you something else. Sir George, who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And now go. Oh, well, what can you do? Farewell, then.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zhelyevites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me.
And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. I'd like to buy something. Where can I find some merchants around here?
If it's a tradesman you're after, most of them live here in the village, of course. Your best bet is to ask our merchant Jörg. He knows everyone. I'm sure he'll help you. No bullshit. Just right. This year, the village prospered. Wait. This supposed to be a chronicle.
Why are you wasting my time? You don't want anything, eh?
Hey, did you forget your clothes somewhere? What did I do to you?
I was just changing clothes. Right away.
Have you seen that farmer's daughter?
The one with the huge titties? Oh, I'd love to take her for a ride.
My thoughts exactly. While we're at it, grass ain't too
Have you
bad
come to break some more stuff? Did you drink away your hose?
No, I just... Sorry.
I'll whisk her away no matter what.
You want to bet?
Aye. Why not? First.
Did you drink away? You mind where you're going?
Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Wie schade.
God
Auf
bless.
Wiedersehen.
Greetings.
Fucking steel. Where are you? Pliers. What can I do for you?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah.
I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge.
That's I can.
Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Get to it. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up bit by bit. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. But you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. What is it? You're not tired, are you? What is it? Look, if you're... That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Oh, Jesus! It has to be even! Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides.
like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Get a move on. I'd like to get some other things done today. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. That's the ring you want.
What's the hold up, Innkeeper?
That's the ring you want.
One beer.
Sparks. That's the stuff. Sparks. That's the stuff. The sparks are flying nicely. Well struck.
probably right. And I'm glad you weren't a kid. Pike off.
Well, I was afraid, but doing pointless work struck me as even worse. Just so you know, sir, I'm not afraid of work, but it has to make sense.
Glad to hear it.
See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's some nice whistling. It's easy. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed, and there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. And they can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work. Excuse me? Fucking piece of shit. What do you want, you yokel? Speak up or get lost.
There's a couple more things I'd like to ask about smithing.
Ask away.
Thanks. That's all I need to know. What do you have for sale?
Oh well, what can you do? Farewell then. What do you need? Hurry up, I don't have all day.
I'll have a look at the wares.
Take care then, and thanks for nothing. What are you here for, friend?
I heard you could teach me something.
Sure, why not? If you pay me, I'll teach you a few of my tricks. What do you want to know? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long. But these days, I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Samin's crossbow, and some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
What would you like?
Can I ask you about that cart?
What is it you need to know?
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Samin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Samin.
All right. I'm on my...
Time's wasted.
That's a fine maypole.
Courage!
We could block it with sand and rocks at night.
Lord be with you. Have no fear.
You having problems with the Zhelyevites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Zhelyevites right away.
Well, if you've got it all figured out, why don't you do it yourself?
Right. And who's going to run the inn in the meantime, eh? Besides, everyone in Zhelyov knows us. If someone from here shows up there, they'll get suspicious.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up, then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zhelyov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is, the finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective, too. Now I mean you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Albram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
Well, I have to say, I expected this to be easier. You could have at least given me the paint.
Oh, ain't you a little princess? No guts, no glory. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zhelyov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Albram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zhelyevites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper ass kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Albram came along, claiming it was the other way around, and that pasture belonged to Zhelyov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelyevites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Albram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelyevites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Albram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
What's new around here?
Vostotek. Lord von Beregov's huntsman is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlak Pond. So if you know your way around the woods, you could go and offer him your help. I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. You could also stop by and see Old Mouth. He's the local storyteller. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things, but only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. What do you have for sale?
Thank you, and take care.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you.
What's that? What?
What happened to you?
I'm in big trouble.
How so?
I lost a letter. A very important letter. I was supposed to deliver it to my master by tonight.
What was in the letter?
I have no idea what it said. For one thing, it was a secret, and for another, I can't read. But it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Oh, so it could just as easily have been a lewd verse.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
Do you know where you might have lost it?
I haven't the faintest idea. It must have slipped out somewhere along the way.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
There's no point now. I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never make it by tonight.
You should have been more careful with it. Losing the one thing you're supposed to deliver.
I know. So I forgot to check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm fucked.
Well, I have to be going. I hope you find the letter.
Me too. Because if I don't, I'm in for a lashing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait! I have an idea. Punch me in the face.
What?
Smack me in the gob. I'll say I was ambushed on the way and they took the letter.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'd rather take a couple of punches from you than a lashing from my master. I could tell you to stop when I've had enough. But he wouldn't. So you get why it's better for me to be slapped around by you, right?
Well, if you ask me, you should man up and tell your master the truth.
No way! Might as well crawl into the pillory myself in that case.
And if I give you a thrashing, that's a better solution.
At least I know you won't flay me to a bloody pulp. Will you?
Very well then. Defend yourself. Or not. It's up to you. You ready?
I am. Oh! This is tricky. Your jaw. Think about your jaws.
All right.
Oh, that was rough.
Do you think that's enough?
I definitely. I'm sore all over. Oh, my mouth most of all.
Glad to be of help then. Take care.
God bless you.
Ave Maria. Are you looking for something?
Greetings.
And I was... What are you poking around that door for, huh?
Oh nein, du Bettler. Was willst du?
What do you have for sale?
Take care then, and thanks for nothing. Hail, fellow. The roads are bad today. Do you want to join us by the fire?
God bless you.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
God be with you.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour.
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as late as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck where you're frae. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. I'll get you.
Show that swag.
I'm all yours.
What are you doing?
Stop fighting! Why did you do that?
Come on then.
To the stock with him!
Stop beating
Who's that
him.
madman?
A madman. You're a disgrace.
Show that.
These days, no one's ever really safe. I've got my eye on you.
Should I help you?
Shame on you!
Rub his beak in the dirt.
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
Go.
The stocks with him.
Come on. Oh, you wee
What in the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yuriko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above! And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
Well, I heard Lord von Burgov will be at the wedding, and I need to speak with him.
Son, I don't know if you're serious or yanking my pizzle. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't you? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
We should probably get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn.
Huh? He's over there, just stealing! A thief! Catch him! Guards!
Give up!
Easy
Well, what'll
now.
it be?
I surrender.
Ah, here you are. The time has come for you to confess to your thievery. And if I don't find those stolen things on you, you'll pay for them as well.
That bastard!
Wait a moment. Sure we can come to an agreement, can't we? I didn't steal anything. That's mine.
No. No, it isn't. Don't try to make a fool out of me.
Can't get any peace and quiet.
I can't pay. I don't have enough money.
In that case, the pillory awaits.
Take me away.
Now, let's have a look at what you've stolen. Show me the goods. And if I find anything else on you that doesn't belong to you, I'll confiscate that too.
Take a look then.
Yeah, right. Besides what's missing, this obviously doesn't belong to you either. I'm confiscating everything. All right, let's go. I'll lock you up in the pillory until you rot! Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
God be with you. Can I ask you something, Captain?
Sure. Ask away, son.
What about Lord Semine? What's he like?
What are you asking me, son? We don't know each other well enough for me to criticise my master.
Oh, I'm not asking you to criticise him.
And would you believe me if I told you he's kind and just? That he knows how to make some coin, but he ain't no miser. He knows how to give orders, but he'll listen to advice too.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
See? You wouldn't believe me.
How about von Berghoff? What's he like?
Well, actually, I don't know that much about Sir Otto. He spends a lot of time in Prague and travelling all over the kingdom. He ain't in Trotsky that often. Once a year before Christmas, he invites his yeomen there, including Lord Semine. That's decent.
That's all you know?
That's it.
I'll get going then.
Look out!
Lord be with. Don't get ideas. I wasn't at my best. But I'm not going to scrap with you again.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znojmo in Moravia. Lovely country. All vineyards and bonny lasses.
Well, you don't like it here?
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're related to the Semines, if I understood right.
Aye. I wouldn't e'er be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Semine's great-uncle. It's not every day that your, first cousin, once removed, gets married.
Twice removed, but that doesn't matter.
Ah, who cares? There'll be a good old shindig, that's all that counts.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semine in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem, so he sends us all over the place. But we didn't have all far to go. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week, a wee bit from Jihlava. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Koschenberg, and another wedding in Dalchin. Then a friendly visit to our kin, the Schellbergs in Kohlberg. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months, and I dinna care.
Why don't you want another fight?
Why would I want to stramash? I'm nae man of violence. Tradition has been honoured already.
Is it your custom to beat up envoys who come to the courtyard?
Envoy or no, when a new bloke turns up and gives us a queer look, he gets a clout in the gob. That's fair, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I understand, I suppose. You must fight all the time then, eh?
Like I said, I'm nae a man of violence, but customs is customs.
Praise the
What's
Lord.
this? Are you following me?
God, this is killing me.
Wait, that's my Pebbles. My girl. I thought they killed you down by that pond.
Can I ask you something, Captain?
Sure. Ask away, son.
I'll get going then.
What do you want, you yokel? Speak up or get lost.
That grey horse you have grazing here is mine.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
She's my horse. I rode in on her from Ratai, in the retinue that was attacked down by the pond.
Right. You happen to need a new horse, and this one just happens to be the one you already own. Does it have your brand? It does not. So you are out of luck.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Look, it's just one horse. It's not that important, is it?
What do you mean, not important? I sell horses. It's how I make a living.
Ah, well, a horse here or there. What difference does it really make, eh?
It makes a difference to me, and to Lord Sameen as well.
Ah, well. Never mind, then. Look at me.
I am looking.
Take a good look.
Aye, I am.
And what you see?
A simpleton?
Fine. I'll buy her from you, then.
That's more like it.
I'm sure you can take good care of Pebbles, but I just can't.
It seemed to me like you might have some history with Pebbles, but I suppose I was wrong. At least it certainly doesn't look that way. What with the pittance you're offering me?
I changed my mind.
Good day.
Well, good day.
Take care then, and thanks for nothing. What do you need? Hurry up, I don't know.
Are they real?
Go! God!
Keep close to the others. It's not safe here.
You better watch out for me, got it?
Relax. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Lucky for you.
Good day to you. Greetings to you
Be
too.
careful. It's not safe here.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
What do you say, son?
Whew. You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
That's true. And you handled this too, sir. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. Don't worry about losing, lad. You've got some talent, I can tell. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
About who? Since you're not here, how could I speak of you?
That's what I like to hear. Now run along.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semin on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semin would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semin is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin, while he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semin would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
Do you know anything about Why's that?
Well, that pair...
That'll be all. Thanks.
God bless. What would you like?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Oh, well, what can you do? Farewell, then.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yichin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum! Let's hurry! To Yichin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Yichin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yichin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yichin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yichin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the cart back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg, while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad? Nothing to say, lad? Well, I can't blame you. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one. Not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Ah. Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything. Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here.
I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Samine was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the ropemaker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows, and the whirring of the spinning wheel... Oh, shh. Wait a moment. Do you hear that?
I do. There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer. What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
For a wench, he's got a miserable pair of tits on him.
Those definitely aren't the
You
blacksmith's
don't say.
hands.
You really saw that? I'm not kidding. Monza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
Just watch and don't get your arse kicked like during training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
We ought to pounce on them while we have the moment of surprise.
The words of a real man. So get ready, and we'll go for them. Nice and quick before the bastards realize what's going on.
colour, and he definitely weren't it.
True. You never know what crosses folk have to bear.
I'll get you.
Nice strike!
I can't quite do that. Help me with him! No time!
We'll finish this quickly. This one is still left. Dead! He's at it. What's the hold-up, damn it? What's the hold-up, damn it? Hey, Henry, get over here. Hey, Henry, get over here.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Shouldn't we send for reinforcements?
Who would we send for? By the time we return, the bastards will be gone along with my goods.
Don't worry, lad. This scum is no match for us.
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, Venser. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time with the Johnny, sir.
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours. Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
Fuck you, whoreson!
Another man!
Nice hit!
I'll be
Too slow!
Fucking hell!
I'll rip your ass off, fucking I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! Drew blood, yeah! Yeah, don't spare him!
Good! We'll finish this quickly.
Yeah, don't spare him! I'll slice you up!
They got what they deserved, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
You be quiet. We'll decide what to do with you later.
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides, you're the one who's supposed to keep watch.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
I'm a nobleman. You have to spare me.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
You won't yield?
I told you. No!
All right. I was hoping for a peaceful end to it. But if that's how you want it...
You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit!
Tough shit, fucker! I'm wounded!
Show me what you're made of, then.
I've been waiting for you.
Fuck you!
I had to kill him, unfortunately. He refused to surrender.
Don't feel bad about it, lad. He'd have swung anyway. At least you gave him a quick end.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Sameen. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Vence's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the cart to Gules.
Shut up, Francie. You both told me you'll bring me the cart, and then you try to fuck me over.
So, you wanted to steal the cart for yourself, and you still got caught?
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Vence.
Bollocks! You confessed when we caught you.
Only 'cause you forced me to.
You're prize idiots in any case. If you hadn't gone around the rocks, you could have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I sent the lads to give you a hand. And I didn't trust you in the slightest. For good reason. Although...
Where are you taking us?
To Sameen, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realize you can't execute me just like that.
That depends. By rights, I should send a plea to the royal court to ask if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. And parchment's expensive. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily take the risk and cut your head off without permission.
I can see how much you respect the rule of law here.
You're quite the joker. Invoking the law, are you?
And what will happen to me?
If you really are innocent, nothing will happen to you.
I am. It was Vence who roped me into it. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Every good-for-nothing I've dragged to the gallows swore on his ma. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was pure as the driven snow. But this arsehole don't think twice about damning her. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
Ain't it grand you're here to make that clear for us? And now shut it. The two of you. I don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout.
What did you get yourself into?
Right. We're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sameen sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
Wet behind the ears? You're a bit young for that kind of talk, Captain.
Ah, if only.
Virgin Mary. Did you get hit by a horse?
Tis but a scratch.
Mind where you're going. All right. You look like someone gave you a thrashing. Sacre.
Don't worry. Nothing's wrong.
Here it comes.
Are you all right?
What a load of shit. What is it, you scoundrel?
I don't have a
Certainly.
bullet, and you won't lend me
Farewell.
yours on any other day.
Go and see the priest first. If he says it's all right, I'll be happy to help you, friend.
Take care, then.
God be with
Mother of God! Did you get hit by a horse?
That's nothing. Just a scratch.
Why is this all sticky?
In. Keeper, what's
I'll be right
taking
with
so
you.
long?
Christ, you look awful.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
Venser didn't survive the skirmish in Gules' camp. And Franzi, they took him to Semin. He might have been innocent in the whole thing.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. They were only here a while, but that pair was as thick as, well, thieves. And that Franzi could talk his way out from under the executioner's axe.
We'll see. Either way, it's Lord Semin's concern now.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
I haven't seen Agnes. Is she pretty?
Pretty doesn't do her justice. She's a beauty. But she's got such a sharp tongue on her that I don't envy older at all. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
What strange goings on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition, but that's all I know.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia, but you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Ah, you fucking piece of shit!